Hi everybody, my name is Robin and welcome to my channel BirdsEyeStitches. This is a channel about cross stitch, so if you are new here then welcome. Hopefully you are here because you have a love of cross stitch like I do, and if you're returning then still welcome. Clearly you are here because you have a love of cross stitch just like I do. Thank you for returning and I appreciate you subscribing. Today is Saturday, it is March 7th. I actually have already filmed a good chunk of this video. However, do you see this ginormous toy? This is a giant dog toy purchased from Costco earlier this morning. My dog, who is 12 pounds of fury, loves nothing more than a brand new dog toy. So we gave her this today, not realizing it has a squeaker in like every single orifice of this thing's body. And well, I'm filming way later in the day than I normally do, so she was a whole ball of energy, and I swear she was squeaking her toy right here next to the phone, like every 20 seconds. It was like pause, pause, pause. So anyway, we got all the energy out. She's now more calm. I had to show her new toy, and we're gonna try this again. Okay. So it is March 7th, it's a Saturday. It's been a couple of weeks since I last filmed. The last time that I saw you guys, I talked about the fact that I was going out of town with my husband. So we went out of town, it was a great time. Not a work trip, which is fantastic. I now travel for work quite a bit. So anytime I can do a little either family vacation with the whole family, including my kid, or just me and my husband, I definitely like to take that time to get away. So we were gone, nice long weekend, got caught up with work. And then I was back last weekend where I was planning to film. However, my hot water heater decided that it had lived the whole life that it wanted to live. Lived a great life, did its thing. It died, it leaked. And I mean, it went out with a bang in that it leaked through the walls, in the garage, all the places. So that is now fixed, drywall repaired, all the fun things. And while I didn't get a whole bunch of stitching in, it's okay. Got all that taken care of, and now we are here. And I have not gotten out of my pajamas all day. I told my husband I'm wearing these pajamas everywhere. Costco, food, doesn't matter. It is relaxation day. And part of relaxation day is stitching and connecting with all of you. So here we are. All right, it is March 7th. We have the notes and plans book. A couple highlights from my last Flosstube. So if you have left comments on my last Flosstube video, I am behind in replying to those comments. I've read them all and I just have not done my replies yet. I will make sure to do that between today and tomorrow because truly that is one of the highlights of my day, is getting to chat back and forth with you guys on these YouTube videos. So I still want to talk about a couple of the people who took the time to leave a comment though. So one of them was the Dottie Daisy. So the Dottie Daisy sounded like a Flosstuber-ish type name. So I did click on your profile and it did look like you have some Flosstube videos. So I went ahead and subscribed, and I'm super excited just to check out the channel. So I will be doing that here over the weekend. So love to find a new Flosstuber. So the Dottie Daisy says that she started the Tapestry of 12 on March 1st, which you all will see in my pile here. She started it on March 1st for her birthday start. Happy birthday to the Dottie Daisy. She is using the called for colors, which is the called for DMC, in order to increase her stash. I think this is a great idea because if you need to increase your stash, each one of these squares calls for one color and it doesn't use a whole lot of the skein of floss. Now, to be perfectly honest, it does use more than I thought that it would. I know this is a shocker, but I thought it would use just a little bit of floss because it was a quick and easy little stitch. It is easy, it is kind of quick, but it's not as quick as I thought, nor does it use the amount of floss that I thought. Shocker, I know. I did underestimate. But anyway, we'll get to that here in a minute. So anyway, she started the Tapestry of 12 on March 1st for her birthday start. She's using the called for to increase her stash, and she is also doing one block a week, which is what I'm doing. I'm stitching them on Sundays. And if she does that, then she'll be able to have it done and framed before her birthday next year. So awesome idea, the Dottie Daisy. I look forward to stitching this with you. And I know that there's a number of others that are stitching this. If you are on Facebook and part of the magazine monthly cross stitch challenge, I did put up a photo of this piece on that page to see who all was going to be stitching it. And there's quite a few of you stitching it in that group as well. So I look forward to working on the SAL and seeing everybody's interpretation, because everyone is stitching on it just a little bit different. The next one I want to bring up is a comment from Stitching with Lou. I bring up your comments often because, well, you comment often and I love that. So Stitching with Lou says that she made a comment about the hedgehog piece that I'm stitching, which you will also see. She says that it is kind of like stitching a round robin, which made me laugh because you're stitching a project within your own project. And you will see why this made me laugh when I show you the progress on this piece. But Stitching with Lou, you are spot on, and I did turn it into stitching my own project because, spoiler alert, I stitched a totally different thing inside that little hoop versus what it called for. So, and it's not perfect, but I like it. I'm happy with it. Last comment I wanted to bring up was from 1884 Stitchery, McKenna. Hi, McKenna. She says that she watched my video while she was packing orders. So if you don't know, 1884 Stitchery is a website where you can buy charts, floss, fabric, things along those lines. I will link it in the comments below. Super fast shipping, all of that stuff. So apparently I kept her company while she packed orders, which is awesome. And she hopes to see me at the Stitch Shenanigans retreat in October. So I wanted to highlight this comment because I wanted to take just a minute to talk about the retreat in October. Yes, you will see me because I am super excited to get to attend. So I got that all taken care of. I have my room booked, my ticket, or whatever it is, my pass to Stitch Shenanigans has been purchased. It is being held in Las Vegas in October. So Sin City Stitcher, if you're watching, hello. I expect to see you there because it's local. Let me know if you're going. If you are, there is a Facebook group once you are paid where you can join, and I would love to see who all is going and just connect with everybody. I went to this Stitch Shenanigans retreat a couple years back. I think that was the first one, and it was it's a smaller retreat, which I personally love because I'm not the most extroverted person in the world, so I prefer the smaller Stitch retreats if I can, just because it allows me the time to get to know a lot of the people who are attending. So if you're going, let me know. I'd love to see you there. All right, shout outs. So just like I was behind in my responses and my stitching, I'm just behind. I have to watch some Flosstube. I started doing what Katie, Jeremiah's mom, hi Katie, doing what she does, where I add a bunch of videos to my queue, and I think I am behind like 16 or 17 videos. So I know what I'll be doing this weekend in my pajamas while stitching. And I'll have some shout outs for you guys next week. Okay, almost 9 minutes in. Let's get right to it. Lots of stuff to show today. Let's see. Okay, first thing up, my note sheet here. We'll do the winner. I have a winner from my last video. I was giving away Stacy Nash Designs from Market Pinkeep. Looks like this. I had to turn the overhead lights on, so the lighting's a little strange and there's gonna be some glare. But you can see the sun is just about down over here. Okay, the winner of this was Stay Stitching. So Stay Stitching says, I don't know why we love pumpkins so much, but we do. That is valid. She said, I really love your hedgehog. which you also see, so thank you for that. And of course the keyword on this one was pumpkin. So stay stitching. I will just need you to send me an email to birdseyestitches@gmail.com. It'll be in the comments below. Just send me an email with your address and I will get this out to you. If you can do it this week, then great, then you will have it over this next weekend. If it is after that, it might be 2 weeks out. We'll see what happens. So anyway, congratulations. I'm excited if you do, or once you do receive this, I'm excited to see your progress, and I would love to see what you do with this cute little pumpkin. And also, this little goat is amazing. Or maybe it's a dog, but I feel for some reason like it's a goat. I don't know why. All right, next up, let's talk about what I've been working on for the last few weeks. So with the travel, I actually expected to do more work on my travel piece. It's in this pile, you'll see it, but I didn't get nearly as much done as I thought that I would. To be honest, over the last couple weeks, I didn't get nearly as much stitching done as I thought I would. I did get some done, but still, I was shocked. Let's talk about what I did get work done. So first one is in my Garan bag. I love this one. It's got birds and it's fall. Can't go wrong. This is where I keep my hedgehog. So this is Woodland Stitchy Friends, the hedgehog by the Primitive Hare. Theirs looks like this. I used this piece for my 25/7 piece last month. I had grand plans of finishing it. I didn't, but I did make good progress. And I didn't work on it every single day. Had I gotten every single day worth of 25/7 done, maybe I would have finished, but that's okay. I'm still happy with it. I took this one off the Q-snap because this one will not come out until I do have a pop-up challenge coming up for the Magazine Monthly Cross Stitch Challenge, where you have to work on the piece that is closest to a finish. I have one piece that is closer than this one, and if I happen to get that done, which I might, then this piece may come out. But otherwise, this one is put away for the month of March. Okay, I am here. Ta-da! So you can see with this little hedgehog, this is the cross stitch piece that the hedgehog is stitching, and I decided that my hedgehog friend should be stitching a bird because it's BirdsEyeStitches. So I found a bird pattern online, just a very basic, bird on a PDF chart, and I tried to shrink it down and make it fit in this teeny tiny little hoop because I stitched the hoop before I changed the bird. He's not center, but I'm okay with that. So it's the adorable bird. I am actually gonna put HH for hedgehog. I haven't gotten to that part yet. I'm gonna put little hedgehog's initials here. So I'll do HH, and then I'll probably do my little bird squiggle that I like to do just to kind of bring the two together. But that is where we got. So this is a super fun piece. If I do get to bring it back out, I can't wait for the time that I do finish it. Even though it does have a little, Halloween hat going on, I don't care. I'm gonna find a place to put this little hedgehog and display him year round. That is the plan. That is where we got on that. And stitching with Lou, it really was like a little round robin, stitching on a piece within a piece. Plus, with the round robin pieces, I feel like a lot of people, you try to get it and you make it your own. This is what is called for, which is also super cute. Sorry, my camera's trying to focus on my face here, but it is also cute. It's a little plant. I felt it needed a bird, so that's what I got. All right, you might see this piece again in the month of March. If not, you will see it in the month of April. I will find a place to pull this guy back out. Okay, next up, I worked on, let's pull out my WhipGo board. So I worked on my WhipGo call for the month of March. So this is my board. looks like this. You can see the ones that are highlighted are the ones that have been called, and the ones that have an X are the ones that are done. So I got both pieces done for January. I did 1 out of 2 for February, and I started working on the second one for February, which you will see in here earlier in the week. But the piece that I worked on and finished for Whip Go was call number 5, which is Jack Frost's Tree Farm. And actually, because of the way that they're calling the numbers, if they get to number 1, and if I get these things stitched, I might actually get a bingo on this, like way faster than I ever get bingos for Baringo or AB Singo. So what's up with that? I don't know. Anyway, that is the next piece up. Let's take a look at that. Where did I get to? Oh, that's right. Okay, so this is Jack Frost Tree Farm by Little House Needleworks. I am stitching mine on a piece of 32 count Belfast from Coloring Cotton. I was trying to read and think at the same time, sorry. Okay, it was a July 2020 Fabric Club in the color Requiem, and the square I was working on was this one here. And I am super happy to report that I finished the square. So this one's off the Q-snap because I don't have plans on working on it this month. Because it's off the Q-snap, that means you can see the whole thing, sort of. If it'll fit, maybe. I gotta back it up here. So I am putting all of the pieces on one, and let's start here. The top is the top banner. Go. Then we have the Douglas fir right there with the car. And then of course, fold this up so you can see. The piece that I just finished was this square right here. So I thought that I was going to be able to give them faces because I found them a little bit creepy with no face, but it doesn't call for a face, so that's the way they are. The dad in the family, who I said was freakishly tall, looks a little bit more normal now that everybody else is stitched up. Now, I still would argue that the people are kind of big in comparison to the rest of the piece, right? Like this huge tree, and like he's as tall as the second branch of the tree. I don't know, but it's adorable, and we got a finish for the Whip Go. So for my Whip Go pieces, I stitch on them for 5 hours, and I think this took me like 4 hours and 40 minutes. It's close enough. I got to finish. The next block that I will be stitching on is, let's see if I pulled it out. Okay, the next one that I'll be doing is this guy here with the truck. It threw me off because I thought I already stitched it, but I didn't. The other one that I stitched had a car. It was the Douglas fir, and this one here is the balsam fir. So slightly different trees, but I love the red truck. And I really like this layout because I'm excited to have, pick this guy back up. I'm excited to have the car on this side and then the truck on this side, and they're kind of pointing each other. So I think that will look really nice, especially with the family in the middle. So really excited for that. I am loving making progress on this piece. I'm excited to see how far I get. I don't know that it will happen, but if I could have this one done in time to get framed, I remember seeing this piece put together at an LNS, and both my husband and I absolutely loved it. So if I could get that done in time to hang in the house for next Christmas, that would be really awesome. If not, then next Christmas. Either way, I'm just excited to be making progress on that piece. So, all right, we got work on that done. You will see the other call for February of Whip Go was number 22, which for me is Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow. It's somewhere in this pile. I did get some work done on that one, so we will get to that one. All right, next step that I worked on was a new start. So this is the comment that I did a shout out for. This is New Start from Just Cross Stitch Magazine. This is spring 2026, looks like this. You'll be seeing a lot of this, a lot of this. I should really flag this page in my magazine, and I will, but I didn't before this video. Hold on, we're almost there. Okay, this is the Tapestry of 12. In this one, you get part 1. Part 1 is the one that has the box. So what I am doing for this piece is I am choosing a cross stitch pattern or a project that I worked on during that week. And of that, I'm gonna take a color from the pattern that I worked on that week, one of the flosses, and I'm going to use it to stitch one block. I'm doing one block a week on Sundays, and then, oh, I don't think I brought that out, but I started a list, so in the end, I'll have the piece completed at the end of the year, you know, but by March of next year. And then I'll be able to show, you know, here is not only the beautiful pattern or beautiful project, but also here are the, however many squares there are, here are all of the projects that I worked on that correspond with the squares. I think it'll tell a really fun story. So I will show that next time or next video, because in my list, I love me a good list. So in my list, I'm doing the floss color, the pattern that it's from, and then if I'm using that pattern, you know, for a challenge or basically talking about why I stitched on that piece for that week. So I'll have all of that, and I can kind of look back at like a year of stitching. So, all right, what am I stitching mine on? So I am stitching mine on a piece of 18 count Aida. It is a fox and rabbit fabric from Garan Stitchery's Fabric of the Month Club. I love their Fabric of the Month Club. This color is the color Hog Bristle. It is a nice neutral. And I was gonna go with a gray because you know that I love me a gray, but I don't know, this color just spoke to me. It's like a very khaki color. Ta-da! This is the very first square. Looks like that. So I was honestly shocked by how much floss this used. I stitched this, oh darn, I didn't bring my list. I stitched this with a piece of floss from the hedgehog piece, and it is one of the hand-dyed flosses. It's the color that I use for the border, the leaves, and all that. I will make sure to have the list next time around. But it actually took up like 3 strands, or you know, 3 clumps of that floss. I'm doing mine 2/1 because I personally like the look of 2 on an 18 count. Unless it's like a full coverage or something like that, then it gets too bulky. But for something like this, I like 2 and not 1 strands. But it actually used up quite a bit of floss. And I think this took me a solid hour, if not a little bit more. But yeah, it looked really simple, and it is simple, but it just took longer than expected. But that's where I'm at. So tomorrow I will be stitching the butterfly, so that is exciting. And I haven't chosen which floss or which piece I'm going to highlight for that square just yet. I'm gonna have to take a look at my planner and see what I put the most work into for the week, and then see if I can find a color that corresponds with that one. Yeah, it might be, yeah, we'll see. To be determined. You will see that at the next video. But that is that one. Okay, next up, what is in this bag? Another Garan bag here. This is a Fun Santa. Oh, I was gonna say I cannot guarantee that there's a Christmas piece in here because I by no means correlate or coordinate my piece with my bag. I basically rotate my bags around, and as I finish a piece, whatever I'm starting goes into said bag, and no rhyme or reason, but this bag's super fun. So, okay, this is my Hawk Run Hollow piece. So it does so happen that it is Christmas. So Hawk Run Hollow, it's Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow. This is my Whip Go Call for the month of February. It is square number 22 for me. And this is a piece that I started many, many moons ago, I believe in 2020. I had not gotten far at all. I started it, then it lived in this bag for many years, and I'm finally pulling it back out. So, Carriage House Samplings, Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow. It is gorgeous, but it is big. This is a BAP, a big, amazing piece. Yeah. I'm not stitching mine in the same order. Don't ask me what order I'm stitching it in. I'm gonna have to figure out my own order. I discovered, and I'm not shocked by this, how I put this together back in the day is probably not how I put it together now, and I did not keep any form of records on what it was I was doing. So I can tell you that I'm starting in this top corner, but my top corner piece is this guy here, this big old house. So this is what I started working on, but it will be placed here. I am stitching mine on a piece of 32 count Lugana in the color S'mores by Stitch Me. This is a beautiful, beautiful piece of fabric. And I am here. I'll get myself situated here. Okay, we are here. So when I took this out, I only put about 45 minutes into this piece. I'll talk a little bit about why. So for Whip Go, I need to stitch on this for 5 hours, so I should get some good progress on it. I will not finish it. This is like almost a full coverage square. Like, why did I choose to do one of the biggest squares first? Maybe to get it out of the way. But it has a huge house and a bunch of snow, and yeah. So anyway, when I pulled it out, I had this gate done, just the gray color and then the border. And I had this white color here taken care of. So when I was choosing what to stitch on next, I realized, number one, the chart calls for DMC 310. I'm doing the DMC conversion for this whole thing. It calls for 310 for both this gate and the square. I have absolutely no idea why, because I pretty much have always owned tons of 310, tons. But for whatever reason, I chose, I think it's 37.99, which is like a gray, a dark gray, but it is definitely not black. So I say I chose the prim version of black, and I stitched this whole gate and the square in that color, which means no big deal for this, but it means that my entire piece, all of the squares are going to have an outline of the wrong color. So it is what it is. I am not taking this out. I am just going with it. And everything that was in DMC 310 will now be dark gray. So be it. Then I started trying to stitch other areas in here and realized, like all my colors, I did not have very many colors that corresponded with the called for. Again, no big deal, but I did not write down. I assume I was trying to make my own conversion, because back in the day when I kitted this up, right, my stash is not, or was not then what it is now. I will tell you that. So I was making do, which is fine, but I didn't write down my conversion, so I didn't know what was what. And in a piece this big, like, I am not gonna mess around with trying to make that work and refigure it out every single time. No. So I paused my timer and I went to my stash and I pulled the true DMC conversion for everything that has a DMC conversion. There are some things that don't have a conversion color, so I need to figure out, you know, if I have a specialty. Okay, everybody. So we had to pause the video because, well, my phone ran out of memory at the 30-minute mark. Luckily, I saw that it ran out of memory, so I don't have to start all over again. But it ran out of memory, so I just hit pause. I consulted with my husband, who helps me with all things technology-based. He showed me that after you delete things, you have to delete them from the deleted folder. He also made me a margarita because it's been a day. So, I now have a shout out for a Flosstuber, to Martini Stitcher. I am channeling you here. Cheers. I'm going to go right back to kind of where we left off in the last video. Okay. So we were talking about this beautiful piece, Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow. I had the wrong colors pulled. I went to my glorious stash that I have acquired over the last 5-6 years since I started this piece. I now have all of the correct colors ready to go, and I will continue in on this piece. It should be quick stitching now that I have the right colors pulled. So I did about 45 minutes worth of work on this piece. 3 hours, 15 minutes to go. You will see an update on this one in the next video. So, Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow. I do need to go find the Facebook group that Carolyn Seasick Stitch, hi Carolyn, that she started, and get this posted, bring some life into that group again. It's probably up and running and full of lots of comments. It's just in the nether of my Facebook groups, so I gotta find that one. But I'm excited to see this one come to life now that I have the right colors, short of this one, which will be wrong on every single square. So every outline will now be in dark gray. To be fair, I like dark gray more than I like black anyway, but I made the comment to Carolyn and I said I did the prim route for the black, except I didn't prim any of the other colors, so this isn't gonna pop quite as much, but it's okay. It will still be beautiful. Also, I really love these, they're like pony needles. I forget what they're called, but I have some over there. But the little pony needles with the white end and the gray bottom. I realized as I was stitching that the gray on this is like DMC 37.99. It matches this perfectly. So there's that. Fun fact. Okay, next step. When my video died, I was going to abort and start over tomorrow, so I like half put things away. My husband saved the day so we can continue on, but now I gotta figure out where to set my stuff. Okay, that will work. All right, next up was my travel piece. So this is my travel piece, but I am also using it for my 25/7 for the month of March. I know I've talked about this before, but for 25/7, which is a Facebook group run by Melanie Watkins, hi Melanie, the whole purpose is to stitch 25 minutes a day and see how far you get. Now, in the month of March, I have a very long work travel trip planned. It's actually over this next week. I will be a speaker for a group called NAPSPS, what I like to call it. It's the National Association of Professional Staff in Public Safety, NAPSPS. I did not name it, but anyway, I'm speaking at that event, and it will be in Virginia for about a week, and I leave for that on Friday. So I figured when I travel for work, I actually have a lot more time to stitch on a work travel event, because after the thing during the day, I just do my own thing. So I should be able to get some stitching in, but one of the pieces I'm gonna bring is my travel piece, and so I know it will be simple to do my 25 minutes a day for that. So my travel piece for this is, where are we at? There it is. It is Silver Creek Samplers on the naughty list. Looks like this. I am stitching mine with the called for everything, so it will actually look kind of like this. The fabric color for this is an 18 count fiber on the whim. I have a card, but the card for it is somewhere. Let's see. Here we go. It's in the color Cornflower. Cornflower. It's a really pretty blue. Okay, and I am this far. So, again, I stitched on this hardly at all during my trip, but I have been using it for 25/7. So I have gotten the rest of this word. I got down this letter, just started working on this red chunk here. I should get a lot of progress done on this section because it's all red. Like, I'm gonna be very sick of stitching in Christmas red, but that's okay. I use this piece for Whip Warriors, the like Stitch and Seek or something like that, the Whip Warriors game for the month of March. One of the prompts was to stitch in the color green. This is about as green as you can get, so I used that. And I did have over 100 stitches in this color green because it was this word and these guys here. So that is that. Again, you will see this one quite a bit because it is 25/7. It's also going to be a piece that I work on while I'm traveling. Okay, that is the majority of the progress that I made. Let me get my planner back out because the next thing I want to talk about is plans, and with the plans I want to show the pieces kind of where they're at for now, and I have a tiny bit of haul. So I had all of this right here next to me, but then I put it away when I thought that I couldn't film till tomorrow, but we got it fixed. Okay, I have so many planners, which is not a bad thing, truly. Okay, this is my lovely, my crazy life Lori 2026-2027 planner. Somehow my paper birds are still hanging in there, even though they're literally just paper. And I'm pulling this out so I can take a look at my acrostic and my other challenge plans. So the challenges that I'm working on in the month of March, WhipGo, they called number 3 and number 4. I already showed you my WhipGo board, but my number 3 is the Majestic Unicorn, which you all love, and so do I. So you'll see that coming out. Number 4 is Spring Quaker, and I haven't pulled that out in a long time either. At least with that one, because I'm using the called for everything, I know that I have the right fabric and I know I have the right floss. So we're on a roll there. You will see both of those here because, so I went through, I have 26 pieces that I'm working on for 2026 that I'm just keeping in my main rotation, and I assigned them all a letter to the alphabet. That way it would be really simple when I got my acrostic to put those together for the acrostic. So randomly, both Majestic Unicorn and Spring Quaker are in my acrostic. So that's awesome. All right, so we'll get right to it. I will be working on the following plans. For, I'll see if I can do these in order. Okay. I don't have Spring Quaker out, probably because I ran out of room in my fancy basket. So I have to get some of this worked on before I can pull that one out. But Majestic Unicorn. Majestic Unicorn is a piece that I would really love to have finished before my daughter turns 18. So I am trying to find a way to stitch on it every month, even if it's not one of my acrostic letters. And in this case, it just so happens to be a WhipGo call. I use this quite a bit on my WhipGo board on purpose because it needs a lot of work. So it will one day look like this. My version is from Ultimate Cross Stitch Volume 7. It's Christmas from 2015. Looks like this. I had one of my amazing subscribers let me know that I could actually stitch, the same pattern is for sale on Etsy. And I picked it up so I can do a digital copy of it That way I can kind of tell how far along I am, and because I made copies from this magazine on like a photocopier myself, like my pattern is kind of hard to read and it's marked up in all kinds of different colors, which is fine, but having a digital copy, number one, gets me used to using a digital copy, and number two, should help me out quite a bit. Plus I'll know how much progress I've made, like official progress, not Robin progress. So I did load that into Pattern Keeper, and I haven't used it yet, but I plan to do that this month. So this is where I'm at. You all just saw this in my last video, so nothing super crazy there. But my goal with Whip Go and everything else is to, I have all the way across the top done, so I'm gonna start working my way down. So I'm gonna start working over here on this border. The border is very swirly and there's a lot of stitching in it, so I will not finish, like I will likely not get all the way down to here, which is where I need to start working again in the main piece in the end of Whip Go, but that will be the plan. Don't ask me what's going on here. I probably just had a piece of thread in this color and just carried it into the border. Hopefully it lines up. If not, we're gonna make it line up. I have the faith that we can do that. So that is a piece for Whip Go. It is also my U in the Magazine Monthly Challenge acrostic. So our acrostic this month is the word Quaker, and U for unicorn will be used for every acrostic that has that letter. And surprisingly, quite a few of our acrostics have the letter U. I guess it is a vowel, so this sort of makes sense. Next up is I am stitching from velvet to linen. That piece is by Kathy Barrick, so it is my letter K. I won't get into all the fabrics and all that stuff just yet, but you'll see it come out when I actually stitch on it. And let's see. To get out of the bag so it's not quite as glary. The original looks like this. Beautiful piece. Mine looks like, make sure I hold it the right way. There we go. Mine looks like this. Put something behind it here. There we go. I am stitching this dark flower. I will hopefully have this dark flower done. This is on my acrostic one time, which means it'll get 2 hours. So it'll probably be the first one that I work on just to make space for some of the other projects that I'm doing, because it's only 2 hours and it's only on this acrostic once. That's where we are there. The next one I have out on the Q-Snap is Autumn Flowers. So Autumn Flowers is used for all of the A's in the acrostic, and obviously there's one A in Quaker. There it is. Autumn Flowers is by Owl Forest Embroidery. Looks like this. This poor, well, it's not the chart, it's just the bag it came in, right? But it's a little bit beat up these days, but it looks like this. The real one is not beat up, it's beautiful. Oh my goodness, okay. We are here. Put this behind it. Ta-da! I fall in love with this piece every single time I take it out. The most beautiful border in the world. I will one day make a bookmark out of this, 100%. It's gorgeous. I am using Owl Forest Embroidery's variegated floss, so you can see some are extremely variegated, but that is what really brings these pieces to life. Like, these are all one color. I am not cool enough to try to pay attention to where the variegation goes, so I just stitch and it variegates where it variegates. It's beautiful in the end. They're flowers. There's no rhyme or reason to it. So this one is on the acrostic just one time, A for Quaker. So we'll get 2 hours on that. I think I tried to pull all of the pieces that just had, you know, 2-hour stitches on them, just so I can do them, show them, and then make room in my basket. The next one I have to show you guys is E pluribus unum. And we have a lot of vowels in this acrostic this month. So E pluribus unum is my letter E, 4E. That is a design by Jan Hicks Creates. Hi Jan, I hope you're well. The original looks like this. I'm stitching mine. Everyone say hello to Squatch. I am stitching mine on, or with the called for floss colors, and I'm stitching it on a fabric that looks close to the called for, but is not quite the called for. Okay. We are here. I can't quite tell where we're at. Let's see. There we go. So I have all the words done. I've pulled this thing out to work on numerous months for the acrostic, and it somehow never makes it back out. So we're gonna work on it this month. I have the sea of stars to do, and then I try to mix up my sea of stars by doing the rows up and down just to break that up. This piece is gorgeous. I absolutely love the color play for the flag. I really want to get this one done, and then this one will go in my office at work. So those are the ones I have out to show you. The rest of my plans, so Magazine Monthly Cross Stitch Challenge. Uh-oh, there's someone outside. Okay, there was a bird outside. Anyway, so Magazine Monthly Cross Stitch Challenge. For the theme, the theme is dreaming. So for that theme, I'm using a piece called Daffodil Delight. I don't have it out to show you, but it is a magazine piece, and it's beautiful. But for the theme, I like to do a 4-hour block, and I want to finish my Whip Go pieces before getting to that, or at least the Whip Go from February. So you'll see that in a following video. And then the acrostic is Quaker. So I'm doing Spring Quaker, Majestic Unicorn, Autumn Flowers, From Velvet to Linen, E pluribus unum. And then I'm using Quaker Posies because I stitched that in the color red. Now Quaker Posies is a piece that is close to a finish. So you will also see that one come out for our pop-up challenge, which is happening in March. The pop-up challenge is March 15th through the 22nd. It's called Spring into Action. And again, you're supposed to pick up the piece that's closest to a finish and try to finish it. Do 5 hours or 500 stitches. That piece will be done within 500 stitches. So I fully expect to pull out the porcupine once I'm done with that. So you'll see both of those come out later. And then Whip Go, obviously, Majestic Unicorn and Spring Quaker. I already kind of talked about those. Okay, this has been a crazy video. If you are still here, I thank you. I have just a tiny bit of haul to show you, a little bit. Now in my market box, it's probably gonna be a box when that comes in. Yeah, but it'll be glorious. So we'll talk about some haul, a little bit. I had a coworker, actually it's an ex-coworker, I don't work with her anymore. Her name is Bernice. She does not watch these videos. Maybe she does, I don't know. If you do, hi Bernice. She had gotten me a small gift, and within the gift bag, she got me a cross stitch, and it says, "I can't adult today." It is adorable. Spoiler alert, again, not that she watches, I will probably stitch this and actually give it back to her as a gift. So we're just gonna take turns gifting each other things. Squatchers, this is not for you. Let me see it. It says, "I can't adult today." Yeah, thank you. I love you. Okay, so we got that as a nice little gift. One day I'll stitch it and say, here you go. None of us can adult today. The other thing that I got was from Garan Stitchery. So Garan, Gary, and Ronnie, they did a video semi-recently where they showed a piece and they said, "Carolyn, I'm looking at you." What really happened is I fell in love with it, and I messaged Carolyn and was like, we need to stitch this, so we will at some point. This is evergreen. It's beautiful. I love the fact that it's just 2 colors, but it's like lacy. I love the colors. I love the design. It's huge. It's a beast of a piece. I don't know, but Shannon Christine Designs, evergreen, beautiful. I got some fabric. I picked up Country Mouse 18 count Aida. It's a seraphim fabric. Looks like this. This is like a nice, I have tons of fabric, but I didn't really have like a neutral khaki color, short of what I was already planning to use for my magazine piece. So now this is a good, like, nice neutral khaki to go in the background. And then I was gonna completely switch up the colors on this and do like a, you know, black fabric. I don't know, I was going a little crazy with my color plans. My husband, though, who is super classic, and I love him for that, he was like, no, this piece is beautiful. I love the green. He loved everything about this. And he watched the video with me and he loved it. So I got bougie and I got the floss pack. Dinky Dyes. It's bougie. It's silk. It's beautiful. The richness of the green and the white, it's shiny because it's silk. Really pretty. So at some point, you'll see this. Carolyn, I know you told me a date. I didn't put it in my planner. I'll message you later. Anyway. Okay, that's all we have for haul. We've done whips, we've done plans, we've done haul. I did the giveaway winner. I'm not doing a giveaway on this video because I will not be here next weekend, which means you won't see me for 2 weeks. Not 3 this time, just 2. I guarantee I will not be able to film while I'm in Virginia because, well, I have to present and do work stuff. So that's not happening. Last very short thing I wanted to talk about, if you're still here, I know this is a very long video. So last thing I wanted to talk about is future plans. So I get to go to, well, first I thought I had no retreats for this whole year. I was thinking it was going to be a sad year of no retreats. And now in the last like month, I'm going to three retreats. Super excited about this. So I had my notes wherever they are. I am going to the beach retreat with Carolyn. That is coming up in April. So we were on the wait list for forever and we magically are off the wait list, and there was still rooms and all of the stars aligned. So yeah, beach retreat in April. And then the Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit, I'm going to that as well. That is going to be extremely fun. Not only was that my first ever retreat, and this will be the second time attending that, but I get to stay with Carolyn. We're having like an amazing Stitchers slumber party because there's going to be 4 Stitchers, including Carolyn, all staying at Hotel La Carolyn. She's housing us all because she's glorious. So super excited to get to really connect with some other Stitchers, not just during the day, but in the evening. Yeah, like the ultimate cross-stitcher slumber party plans happening. And then in October, I already talked about this in the beginning, at least I think I did. I'm going to Stitch Nanigans, which is going to be a blast. That is in Las Vegas. If you don't know about that one, check out the 1884 cross stitch website, as well as the 1884 Stitchery Flosstube channel. I will link both in the description to this one once I figure out how to merge these 2 videos together and get them posted. And yeah, thank you for watching my videos. Because I didn't have any true Flosstube shout outs this time, let's do this. If you are a Flosstuber, I would absolutely love if you will leave me a comment with your Flosstube name. I just want to make sure that if I have people who are taking the time to watch my channel and you have a Flosstube channel of your own, I want to put it in the queue. I want to see what you're doing, see what you're stitching, and connect in that way. So leave a comment with your Flosstube name. Everybody else, I'd love to talk with you. I have my email, which I can now get access to. So that is in the comments as well. It's birdseyestitches@gmail.com. You can reach me there. You can reach me on Facebook. The Instagram, I'm never on the dang Instagram. I'll get there one day. Yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, leave me a comment. Say hello. I will see you in roughly 2 weeks. Happy stitching, everybody, and I'll see you next time. And Squatch says bye. Right?